Do you feel like you can control your hunger and no matter how much you eat, you just never feel full? Well, it turns out that there are some hormones that play a huge role in controlling our appetite. And the good news is that there are some things you can do to regulate these hormones and to feel satisfied after you eat. Welcome to Holistic Ovaries. I am Agnese, and today we are going to talk about the common struggle amongst women with polycystic ovary syndrome, extreme hunger. No matter how much you eat, you feel like you could eat more, and this is a frustrating feeling that many women with PCOS experience. And today we are going to discuss what are those hormones that regulate hunger and what you can do to regulate these hormones. And if you are interested to manage your PCOS symptoms, remember to hit the subscribe button and let's start. One of the reasons why you are feeling all the time hungry is due to impaired hormones that regulate appetite. These are the hormones that tell your body when you are full and when you are hungry. And when these hormones do not function properly, it can lead to increased hunger. While the research is still ongoing, some studies suggest that the hormonal imbalances associated with PCOS, like high androgens or high insulin levels, can dysregulate hormones that regulate your appetite. The three hormones primarily responsible for regulating hunger and fullness are leptin, ghrelin, and peptide YY. However, I would also want to add cortisol and insulin that are not considered hormone regulating appetite, but still can have a huge impact on your hunger. Leptin. Leptin is produced by your fat cells and it tells your body when you are full. Women with PCOS often have higher levels of leptin, but can develop resistance to it. So your body doesn't recognize when it's full. Ghrelin. Ghrelin is produced in your stomach and it tells your body that you are hungry and that you need to eat. And women with PCOS often have higher levels of ghrelin. And this can lead to intense cravings for high-calorie food. Peptide YY. Peptide YY is produced by your small intestine and it helps your body to reduce appetite. And women with PCOS may have lower levels that lead to increased appetite. Insulin. Insulin, which is very often high in women with PCOS, can also affect your appetite, can drop the sugar levels and lead to increased hunger. Cortisol. Cortisol also, when it's very high, can dysregulate your appetite, making you feel more hungry and more difficult to feel satisfied. When all of these hormones are dysregulated, this can lead to overeating and even unhealthy relationship with food. I had moments in my life that I hated myself just for feeling hungry because I knew that even if I ate, I will still feel that hunger and no any food could satisfy. So I punished myself with not eating, exaggerating my problem even more because then I was overeating again or even binge eating, feeling guilty and entering this vicious cycle. Because we are resistant to the hormones that tell our body to feel full, and we produce more hormones that tell our body that we need to eat more. One reason for this might be insulin resistance that lead to increased insulin levels in your bloodstream, that lead to increased hunger, increased fat storage, and increased food intake. Elevated insulin levels also increase production of ghrelin and reduce sensitivity to leptin. Leptin and insulin are two hormones that work together to regulate your appetite and your metabolism. When you eat a meal, your body produces insulin in response to glucose, the sugar, in your blood. Insulin stimulates the production of leptin in your fat cells, and leptin signals to your brain that you are full. However, if you are leptin resistant, your body doesn't receive the signals that you are full, even if you produce high levels of leptin. And this can happen when you have chronically high level of insulin that is associated with insulin resistance, and it is so common in polycystic ovary syndrome. In this case, leptin is unable to stop the production of insulin, leading to more insulin and more leptin and more insulin resistance and more leptin resistance. It is so important to manage insulin resistance and leptin resistance at the same time to keep your metabolism going. Additionally, high levels of androgen, high levels of stress, high levels of cortisol, disrupted gut microbiome, lack of sleep, environmental toxin can all contribute to increased hunger in polycystic ovary syndrome. And I hope that you are getting a bigger picture here, how everything is interconnected. And to manage PCOS is not enough to work only with your reproductive system. Okay, so what can you do to improve your appetite regulating hormones? Support your gut microbiome. We already know that healthy gut is essential for overall health, and it turns out that it can also help regulate our appetite. So make sure that you eat a lot of fiber-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and they will feed the good bacteria in your gut. And remember to check my video here about healthy gut microbiome to manage PCOS for more information. Improve sleep quality. When we are sleep deprived, our hunger hormones get all out of whack. We produce more of the hormone ghrelin that tells our body that we are hungry, and we produce less of leptin that tells our body that we are full. So make sure that you get between 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every single night. Stick to consistent sleeping schedule, avoid caffeine, avoid electronics before going to sleep, and try to wind down with some relaxation techniques like reading or stretching, meditation, anything that will make you relax. Manage stress levels. Managing stress is another important factor in appetite regulation. When we are stressed, we not only produce more ghrelin or less leptin, but we also tend to overeat and choosing food that are full of fat or carbohydrate because we need that energy. So find ways to reduce your stress and to feel more relaxed. I also prepared a program for women with PCOS on stress management. And if you want to know more about that, just check in the box description. Anti-inflammatory strategy. Eating anti-inflammatory diet can also help to regulate appetite hormones. Try to, as much as possible, cut on processed foods and sugary foods and focus on whole foods like vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and healthy fats. Supplementing with omega-3 fatty acids can also reduce inflammation and help with hormonal balance. And in next video, we are going to discuss steps how to reduce inflammation in PCOS. Reduce toxin exposure. Finally, try to reduce exposure to toxins that are in your environment. Endocrine disturbing chemicals like BPA can have a huge impact on our hormones. So try to look for natural products for your home and for your body. Try not to use plastic containers and bottles. And as much as possible, try to reduce toxins that are in your environment. By taking care of your gut, getting enough sleep, managing your stress, eating anti-inflammatory diet, managing your insulin resistance, and reducing toxins in your environment, you can help regulate your appetite hormones. Of course, this is only the part of the story. We still have to cover emotional eating, restrictive dieting, insulin resistance itself, a long way in front of us. Remember to subscribe to not miss on that knowledge, and comment, like, share with other women with PCOS, and I will see you in next video. Bye!